Disgust is going to do more for your life than inspiration ever will. You don't want to hear that because you've spent years trying to think positive, visualize better, get motivated, and none of it has moved you an inch from where you were standing 5 years ago. You've been trying to run your life on the wrong fuel. Because the truth is, nobody ever changed their life from a place of mild preference. Nobody climbed out of a hole because they thought it'd be nice to be out of the hole. The people you know who actually turned their lives around, the ones whose before and after doesn't look like the same person. Something happened to them first, and the thing that happened was disgust. Not inspiration, not clarity. Disgust. They caught a glimpse of where they were headed, and they couldn't stomach another year of it, and the refusal to live one more day inside that version of themselves became stronger than the inertia keeping them there. That's the actual mechanism. And you've been trying to skip it because disgust doesn't feel nice, and you were taught that feeling nice is the point. So let's talk about what you've actually been tolerating. The job you didn't care about when you took it, that now takes up the best 9 hours of your day, and leaves you so fucking depleted by the evening, that the only decision you're capable of making is what to order, and what to scroll. You call that being tired, but it isn't. It's the slow arithmetic of selling your week for a salary, and then spending the salary trying to numb the fact that you sold your week. The relationship that used to surprise you and now doesn't. The project you've been almost starting for so long that the phrase, almost starting, has become your actual personality. These aren't problems. These are tolerations. There's a difference. And the difference is that problems get solved, and tolerations get absorbed into the wallpaper of your life. Until you stop noticing them, and just start living inside them. And here's what nobody tells you about tolerating things, because it's uncomfortable. Every small thing you tolerate teaches your nervous system that this is the acceptable level, that the background hum of anxiety is just what being alive feels like, that waking up slightly dreading the day is normal, that checking out for the last 2 hours of work is what work is. You're not just putting up with circumstances, you're training yourself every single day that this is the ceiling. And then one day you wake up at 35, at 40, at 50, and you wonder why you feel so stuck. And the answer is that you got so good at it that your nervous system now defends the cage. And nobody's coming to lift you out of it. Your parents won't. Your partner won't. Your friends mostly won't, because the people closest to you are usually the most invested in you, staying exactly who they met. You threaten something in them when you change, because you prove it was possible all along, and now they have to ask themselves why they haven't. So they'll comfort you back into the person they recognize. They'll tell you you're being too hard on yourself. They'll tell you you're doing fine. They'll mean it kindly, and it'll still be the most expensive kindness you ever accept. Which is why you can't wait to feel inspired. Inspiration is not going to beat a decade of pretending. The only thing strong enough to break a pattern that deeply installed is the visceral, physical refusal to spend another day inside it. You need to be done. Not thinking about being done. Not planning to be done next quarter. Not journaling about being done. Done. The kind of done where the thought of another Monday, like the last one, makes something in your chest close up. That's your body finally telling you the truth about what it's been enduring. Because the whole peace and light industry has sold you a lie. And the lie is that the positive emotions are the only legitimate ones. That if you're motivated by hatred of your current life, something is wrong with you. That healthy people only move toward beautiful futures. It's nonsense. You're a survival machine. The wiring that kept your ancestors alive was built around avoiding things long before it was built around chasing them. Fear of death, fear of exile, fear of irrelevance. These are the engines that have actually moved people for 100,000 years. And when you refuse to use them, when you insist on only drawing from the gentle end of the emotional spectrum, you're fighting with one hand tied behind your back, and then wondering why the people who seem to move through life with force are outpacing you. You're allowed to hate what you've become. You're allowed to look at the version of yourself that's been running your life for the last few years, and feel something closer to revulsion than to compassion. Don't confuse this with self-loathing. It's the system working correctly. Self-loathing is passive. It's a fog. It's a feeling that loops in on itself and goes nowhere. Disgust is directional. Disgust says, I am not staying here, and it puts its coat on to walk out of the door. There's a difference, and you've been confusing them because one of them has been sold back to you as the virtue. And running on hatred alone won't work either. Hatred without a destination burns the house down and leaves you standing in the ashes still hating. You need both. You need the clear-eyed vision of the life you refuse to keep living, and you need the equally clear vision of the life you're moving toward. Look hard at the version of the future where nothing changes, the one where you write the same script about yourself in 10 years. Feel it. Let it become unacceptable to you. And then spend the rest of your fuel on delusional optimism building a future specific enough to actually walk toward, not a vibe, not a mood board, an actual life, with actual details that you could describe out loud. The disgust is the ignition, the vision is the steering. So be harder on yourself. There's a version of being easy on yourself that is the single hardest thing you can do to your own life, because it sentences you to 50 more years of the same week on repeat. And you've been calling that self-compassion. It isn't. It's the slowest form of self-abandonment there is. You don't need to wake up motivated tomorrow. You need to wake up unwilling.